Be advised, my OnlyFans is now 20% off.
Weirdos are gonna come after y'all.
What's going on, good people? We're back at it again with another electrifying video just for you. I hope all is well with those who are watching. Please give me a like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It would be greatly appreciated. It helps me out, so I appreciate it in advance. What's going on, Buff Nation? In today's video, I will break down all the big name recruits who plan on attending Colorado's spring game on April 27. This is exactly 2 weeks away from Colorado's second spring football game under the leadership of head coach Deion Sanders. Along with allowing current Buffs players to shine in front of fans at Folsom Field, the glorified scrimmage is a vital recruiting day for Coach Prime and his staff. I have never heard one guy say, "I chose this college because this coach came by my crib." Have you? Sanders said. Coach Prime has been landing some top recruits, but hasn't visited them off campus or used the private jet. In his first 14 months on the job as head football coach, Deion Sanders has reeled in some of the top recruiting prospects in the nation, including offensive lineman Jordan Seaton and cornerback Cormani McClain, who is finally back practicing with the team. In that spirit, I will prove that Deion Sanders is still recruiting high school kids and that they will be at the spring game in 2 weeks for their official recruiting visit. First on the list is offensive tackle Zaire Addison, an enticing offensive line prospect with developmental upside given growth potential and movement patterns. Measured roughly 6 foot and 5 inches, 280 pounds, blessed with a nearly 6 foot 10 inches wingspan. He has played primarily tackle at the prep level, but the ceiling might ultimately be highest at one of the guard spots. Still, he is athletic enough to protect the corner with improved technique. He fires out of his stance and is quick to initiate contact. He frequently finds himself in control of his body and will seal off run lanes with impressive core balance. He can get caught reaching and lunging in pass sets, but he does have the upper body strength to extend the arc when he gets his hands on an assignment. He should be viewed as a potential multi-year starter at the Power 4 level who can play multiple spots up front depending on how the body matures. He will likely need a few semesters in the weight room before he's ready to go on Saturdays. Next up, offensive tackle Michael Fasusi. He is described as a strong and physical tackle with a high developmental upside. Scouting reports say he plays with an edge and works to finish blocks with authority. His one negative is the need to improve at pass blocking, but is teachable, so he should develop that trait in the right environment. Right now, it appears that Fasusi is leaning towards a Texas commitment and even listed his top teams leaving Colorado off of it. However, as long as he still takes the visit to Colorado, they will have a chance. Next up on our list is linebacker Mantrez Walker out of Buford High School in Buford, Georgia. He is currently ranks as a composite 3-star on 247 Sports. Walker was originally committed to Michigan, but decommitted last year. Since then, Colorado has been vigorously after him, being in constant contact with him through the whole process. When announcing his top teams, Walker had this to say about Colorado, and I quote, "Colorado is probably the school that reaches out to me the most ever since they started recruiting me." Walker said, "It's been every day, every morning." Linebackers coach Andre Hart. "He's made it clear to me that I'm his #1 prospect." He is ranked as the 55th linebacker nationally. Probably one of the biggest needs for Colorado is linebacker, and with multiple departing players next year due to eligibility, Walker will have a chance to secure a big role with the team. Another offensive lineman set to visit Colorado is Nick Brooks out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This enormous young offensive tackle prospect with immense size and above-average movement ability, verified multiple times in spring of his sophomore year in the 6'7", 345-pounder, adequate length and carries his mass relatively well considering size. Overwhelming size and functional strength in the running game. Generally displays good hand placement in the majority of situations. Flashes promising athleticism when traveling to the second level. Limited throws reps as a freshman. Naturally high center of gravity compromises leverage. Gets too far out over his feet at times. More catcher than puncher early on, but has flashed encouraging engaging punch in some past pro reps. still growing into frame and developing balance and body control, which will help with occasional overcommitting and susceptibility to counters and secondary rush. Projected as a high major offensive tackle prospect with high floor competency and high ceiling long-term potential. Which brings us to edge rusher Lages Harold, who is rated as a composite 4-star player in the 2025 class. Harold is an athletic two-sport athlete and excels at basketball. He would fit in well with Colorado again, wanting to stock up on future D linemen and create some more depth. Harold would be a great pickup for Coach Prime. Defensive lineman Jarquez Carter is currently a composite 4-star player out of Newberry, Florida. The 6'2", 284-pounder will get a chance to talk shop with Demo Lewis and Coach Sapp at the spring game as they try to close the deal on this 2025 lineman. In 2022, Carter had 78 tackles and 10 sacks, having a monster season for his high school. You have to imagine the allure of getting to be coached by Warren Sapp may push Colorado over the edge on landing him. Carter can play both inside and outside, and has the ability to both beat and take up double teams on the inside quite well for his size. Carter moves quickly and shows an athletic frame. He also shows quite the amount of strength with his tackling abilities. He seems to be good both in pass rush and run stopping abilities. Based on the video that I saw, we will see what Carter thinks of Boulder after the spring game. Let's talk about my boy wide receiver Donovan Murph out of Columbia, South Carolina. The 6'2", 190-pounder rising junior is cousins with former South Carolina star and former Chicago Bears and Philadelphia Eagles wideout Alshon Jeffrey. The two have worked out together in the past. The quote from Murph, "I've been able to learn a lot from him." Murph said, "I've been able to go to his games since he was on the Bears, and I've been to a couple Eagles games as well. He's taught me a lot, and I continue to connect with him, and sometimes we get some work in. We're going to get some work in this summer for sure." Which brings us to our next recruit. It's never too early to start the recruiting process, which brings us to this 2027 quarterback recruit Jace Johnson out of Georgia. 6'3", 190-pounder, can flat out launch it, has mobility, and isn't afraid to take coaching, which is very important with today's athletes, which gives you the biggest opportunity to grow, not only as an individual player, but also helping the team grow as well. Moving on to the next edge rusher prospect, Javian Hilson, 6'3", 225-pounder, looks to have plenty of growth potential. He can play a bit rigid at times, but he covers a ton of ground and builds up plenty of momentum as he works his way into the backfield. Naturally upright, but can change directions. He is viewed as more of a run defender than a long-term pass rusher, but production shows versatility and competency in all situations. A combination of physical traits, testing data, and functional athleticism suggest ample long-term upside. He could become a high major impact player with an upside in the NFL draft. Currently, Colorado will be looking to improve the defensive line each offseason, and Hilson would idly bring that he is committed to Florida State and did that in January, but continues to do his due diligence and will meet up with Coach Prime Warren Sapp and the rest of the team at the spring game at probably one of the most significant position of needs. You can never have enough cornerback Dorian Barney, a composite 4-star out of Suwanee, Georgia. The 6'1", 170-pounder Barney is the third-ranked cornerback in the 2026 class. In his 2022 season, Barney had 32 tackles, 8 interceptions, and 6 picks as a freshman. Colorado was listed in his top teams, and of course, who could not want to come play for the greatest defensive back in the history of football? Barney is described as the prototypical cornerback with top speed, hard-hitting abilities, and skills that create his own island to defend in the hands of Coach Prime. Having Barney would be ideal and allow him to build the young man up into a sensational cornerback and create Barney Island for years to come. Thank you so much for sticking with this longer video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like what we are doing, then please subscribe, like, and of course share this video so we can continue our growth here at Primetime Buff Nation.
I'm counting on it. I'm coming. I already made reservations. That's the believer. Are you the belief or the believer? I know who I am. We gotta find out who you are. I'm coming.